Let us continue our conversation with Israeli Ambassador to the United Nations Danny Danon and what is a controversial decision globally about America saying that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. It is very obvious to those of us who have watched the history of this that it is a very nervous moment, and it's certainly politically tense. That said, everybody wants to know who else is on board. You said the Czech Republic. But we hear these rumors that are, kind of wiggly here, that Saudi Arabia is on board with the decision to move the embassy to Jerusalem. Can you clarify for us whether Saudi Arabia is really on board?
We will hear from the Saudis probably tomorrow in the UN, but I can tell you that many Arab countries, they care more about the threat of Iran. They care more about radical Islam than they care about the local issues between us and the Palestinians. But we want them to be involved in the process. And I think what President Trump did yesterday, it was the right move on the right time. It will actually ignite the process for peace. Because for 20 years, we tried everything. It didn't work. And now, all of a sudden, the president is coming to the Middle East. He say, enough is enough. We know that Jerusalem will be the capital of Israel, period. So let's move on. Let's speak about the other issues. Let's start to speak about peace. And I believe that we will see engagement with other Arab countries that will be involved in the peace process.
Would that engagement include Jordan? And I ask that because Israel has had a very good relationship over the past couple of decades with Jordan. And the Jordanian King Abdullah II is in a bit of a tight spot because, as I understand it, he is the custodian of the Aqsa Mosque that is in Jerusalem. No access will be denied Muslims to that mosque, correct?
We respect the Jordanians, and Prime Minister Netanyahu said very clearly yesterday there will be no change in the status quo. The temple will stay open. Freedom of religion is a core value in Israel. When you walk in Jerusalem, you will hear Muslims' prayers, you will hear Christian prayers, and also Jewish prayers. It is the only capital in the Middle East where you really have freedom of religion. And it will stay that way.
That was not the case when the Arabs were in control of Jerusalem. So it's really important to note that Prime Minister Netanyahu said that. There is the accusation that the timing is questionable, that it's way more political than diplomatic. The billionaire Sheldon Adelson, he is, of course, in the casino business in Las Vegas. He had donated some $25 million to President Trump's campaign, but was unhappy 6 months ago when the president pushed it away, the 6-month waiver, to keep from making the full decision, and that time was running out, and Adelson may have been saying, come on, make this decision.
When you read the history of Israel, it was always about timing. When,
True.
When Truman was debating the decision to recognize Israel, Marshall told him it is a bad decision, it's a bad timing. State Department was against it. There was always the issue of timing. The president made a promise to the voters here in the United States. He said, I will move the embassy.
He did.
And that's what he did yesterday. It was an American issue. It was not an Israeli issue. For us, Jerusalem is the capital for 3,000 years. We don't need any recognition. We pray for Jerusalem every day. But it was important for the American people that the president delivered on his promise.
Do you think that will have any economic effect? We've been watching the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange as a business network. It's been down the past 2 sessions.
I think Israel, we have a very strong economy, and we will see the numbers going up. And if we will have a peace process eventually, it will be even better.
And there's the Israeli Tel Aviv Stock Exchange 125. It has had a good month, certainly, but the last 2 days we've lost some moves there. It's great
Vice President Pence is coming in 10 days. I'm sure the stock exchange will react to that.
Well, I'll tell you something. I really understand what you're saying, and it's logical that when you're doing one thing for decades and many, many years and it doesn't work, change the path, because something's got to work eventually. We shall see and hope for peace. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Liz.
Ambassador Danny Danon, Israel's ambassador to the UN.